All right, man, peace. So the Dallas Cowboys finally made their big splash. And as I've been stating for a while now, this really is about Dak Prescott as much as it's about Amari Cooper. Do I think that it was a great decision to trade for Amari Cooper? Absolutely. Because for all intents and purposes, if you've seen the Dallas Cowboys play, the only thing that they're really missing is a wideout. And what the wideout will do is it will establish to them what else they might be missing on the offensive side. And of course, I'm talking about Mr. Dak Prescott. He's going to have to show that he can get the ball to Amari Cooper, that Amari Cooper can stretch the field. Amari Cooper is already a proven commodity in the NFL in regards to his ability to have big seasons. He's had a big season with the Oakland Raiders. Of course, he's had issues with his confidence. He's had issues with drops. We'll see if that carries over to his time period with the Dallas Cowboys. But he came out of Alabama, a very highly touted wide receiver prospect. He reminds me a lot of Marvin Harrison, the great receiver who used to play with the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning. So we're going to learn a lot about both Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott, because this will be used as an evaluator for Dak Prescott and whether or not he's really having a wide receiver problem or if he's having a decision-making problem and a confidence problem where he cannot understand how to get the ball to the receivers in the right place at the right time. So anyway, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
This is SportsCenter right now. I'm Anthony Collins. Amari Cooper is heading to Dallas. Oakland trading the fourth-year wide receiver in exchange for the Cowboys' 2019 first-round pick. The 3-4 Cowboys, desperate for an offensive spark. The numbers say the Cowboys' passing game needs help. Dallas wide receivers have caught just 6 touchdown passes this season. That's tied for 22nd in the league. Now, Cowboys wideouts have averaged 136 receiving yards per game this season. That ranks 26th in the league this season.
Well, the major problem with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys receivers is twofold. It's not Dak Prescott's fault totally, and it's not the Cowboys receivers' fault totally. They don't have any transcendent receivers. That's already established. But what a great quarterback can do is he can improve the play of his receivers. Dak Prescott is not a great quarterback. What we're trying to evaluate right now, when I say we, I'm talking about the observers, and that includes the Dallas Cowboys front office. They're trying to evaluate exactly how good Dak Prescott is and what his ceiling is, and whether or not he's already reached it, which is a possibility that he's already reached his ceiling in his rookie year. So Amari Cooper is going to be used as that main component, that main variable to see. Is Dak Prescott now able to put fear into the defense? Are they going to now take 8 men, 9 men out of the box to try to bottle up Ezekiel Elliott?
And Cooper's only averaging 47 yards per game, but he has a pair of 100-yard games. And for his career, Cooper has 13 100-yard receiving games. That's 2 more than all Cowboys players combined have had since Cooper entered the league in 2015.
The guy is 24 years old. Assuming the Cowboys can re-sign him long-term, they believe they have a guy who's better than anyone they would have taken in the first round of next year's draft at wide receiver, and they can keep him for a while, and he already has learned the ropes of the NFL. From the Raiders' standpoint, people have to understand what the Raiders are doing. They're not going to come out and admit this, but they are building for Vegas. They have 3 first-round picks now for next year and 2 in 2020 as a result of this deal and the Khalil Mack deal. So they can get literally anyone they want in next year's draft and probably the year after. So they want to hit Vegas in 2020 running with an exciting young team that the fans...
Now, I remember Amari Cooper with the Alabama Crimson Tide, and he was one of the more dominant college wide receivers that I can remember ever having seen play. He was very dominant in college. Now, the most dominant wide receiver that I've ever seen play in college was definitely Randy Moss. That 1 year at Marshall, I will never forget it. Man, was unbelievable.
Fans there can feel good about it.
Now let's get you back to First Take. How about it, Amari Cooper, now a Dallas Cowboy? The Raiders get a 2019 first-round pick in return. Ryan Clark in the house. Good to see you.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good.
What's going on, man? Ain't nothing. You excited about going out to Dallas, bro?
Man, please, I can't wait. Everybody acting like I'm supposed to be give a damn about no damn Dallas Cowboy fans. I'm coming. I can't wait to see y'all. I'll give y'all my flight information like you want it. I don't care. Nobody's scared of the Cowboy fans. You know what I mean?
Stephen A. Smith is a closet Dallas Cowboys fan. Anybody who claims to hate a team as much as he does, it's really just inverted love.
You know, who are they?
You my guy. I'm just checking on you. I never need to fly up and help you.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm always have security.
Okay,
I'm always have security. Darren.
And that's no joke. Stephen A. Smith traveled with some serious security. That brother be traveling with Fruit of Islam dudes.
Darren Woodson gonna be my security. He ain't gonna escort me around. That's right. He's supposed to be the face of the Dallas Cowboys. Darren Woodson is gonna escort me around. Okay,
we
gonna hang out. Listen, I'm gonna reach out to my man Jerry Jones. You know, my friend Jerry Jones, and ask him.
Oh, Jerry Jones will hook you up. Anything you need, Jerry Jones will hook you up. And man, Jerry Jones to have 5 hoes with just bras and panties on right there at your hotel room door, and a few lines of coke if that's what you like. Jerry Jones will hook you up.
Ask him, can I chill in the suite? Or can he get me a suite? Watch it. Hold on.
He can't sit with the
No, never.
Can we be clear about something? I'm Stephen A. I'm not no peon known as a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Let him know, Steve. Let him know who you are. He said peon.
I'm Stephen A. Watch it. I have to sit amongst Cowboy fans. Fans, that Cowboy. Who are they? As a matter of fact, I'm trying to figure out my wardrobe. I'm trying to figure out my wardrobe. I'm trying to figure out.
Regular people.
I don't know yet. You remember what I wore last time? I can't wear that this time. The Aaron Rodgers and the hat. I gotta figure out what could I put on that's gonna absolutely disgust Dallas Cowboys fans. And whatever disgusts them, I gotta figure it out. But I don't feel that way about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. It's very
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on.
Well, Stephen A. Smith, you better enjoy them while you can, because the way many of these quote-unquote social justice warriors are moving, they're trying to get rid of cheerleaders, bro. I'm probably going to do a video about that.
I'm good with that.
Let me help you out. Stephen A.
They're winners.
Stephen A.
All right. Okay, go
Just
ahead.
stay focused.
Go ahead.
right?
I'm
Okay,
focused.
just
I'm
listen
very
to me,
focused.
okay?
I'm very focused.
Is Cooper worth a first-round pick?
Yes.
He's definitely worth a first-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys. There's no doubt about that, especially when you look at their team. Right now, they have one of the top defenses in the NFL. They have one of the top running backs in the NFL. Their offensive line is good. They've had their moments where they seem pretty leaky, but I think that that's due to the fact that the defense is so unafraid of the wide receivers that they're not concerned about a lot of the defensive sets. When you have threats on the outside, it makes the defense far more hesitant to blitz and put pressure on the quarterback. So now that they have Amari Cooper, we'll see what happens. We'll see if the offensive line looks better, especially with the run blocking.
Yes, he is. For a multitude of reasons. Number one, for the reasons that Dan Graziano pointed out.
Oh, with an accent. Graziano.
Italiano. Rolled off the tongue. You understand? Okay, Graziano. Here's the deal. He said it best. Whoever they're going to get in the draft, Amari Cooper is likely better than. I don't think he's a bust. He had 2,000-yard seasons. I think we're finding out that Derek Carr is the one questionable commodity on the Oakland Raiders more so than Amari Cooper. That's number one. Number two, I think the system, the schemes, and the culture that John Gruden has built has been it's put folks off. So I think that Amari Cooper has wanted to leave since John Gruden arrived. That's number two.
I think that Derek Carr wants to leave as well. And I'm trying to remember who it was who stated that a great trade that the Jacksonville Jaguars could make would be to inquire about Derek Carr, because I believe that he may be on the market right now.
Number three, who you got in the Cowboys? Cole Beasley. He's got 33 receptions. Your next leading receiver's got 13 catches on the season.
If Cole Beasley is your leading wide receiver, your passing game is nowhere near as good as it needs to be, because Cole Beasley cannot stretch the field.
Okay? So when you look at it from that perspective, what Amari Cooper brings to the table, I'm going to tell you the bad part. The one bad part about Amari Cooper arriving. Are y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
It puts even more pressure on Dak Prescott.
No, actually, that's the good part. That's the whole point, Stephen A. Smith. They want to evaluate how good Dak Prescott actually is.
Because Jerry Jones is talking about Dak Prescott. Listen, Ryan, because you just did excellent.
Really, what Dak needs is a very good tight end. That's really what Dak Prescott needs. He needs that tight end to throw those little crossing routes that he can count on so that he can play action fake and hit somebody like Amari Cooper over the top. So that's the one piece that the Dallas Cowboys offense is now missing now that they have their game breaker at wide receiver.
excellent analysis on Get Up prior to this show, and you're phenomenal at breaking down those plays of what's happening on the board there. Appreciate you young whippersnapper. Here's the deal. I watched this guy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm watching the Redskins this past weekend. It wasn't just 8 men in the box sometimes. Sometimes they put 10 up in there. They basically said, Dak Prescott, we ain't worried about you. Who are you? You ain't nothing. This is what they're saying to Dak Prescott. I'm not saying that. That's what the Redskins were saying. So to me, Amari Cooper's arrival has put the spotlight on Dak Prescott.
There's no doubt about that.
More so than Amari Cooper.
Listen, I agree with that, but I believe in Dak. I think he's solid.
So
I don't think he's great, but I think he's solid.
So do I.
Look,
I think that Dak is solid, but once again, how he performs over the course of the rest of this season into next season is going to determine exactly how much they're going to be willing to pay him. So he is going to have to ball out.
this was a bad idea to trade a first-round pick. I understand why Jerry Jones did it, because he's not a good GM. But he does recognize that, and he's essentially the GM, he does recognize that the NFC East is up for grabs. The Dallas...
I think that it's unfair to claim that Jerry Jones is the GM. I think that recent history has shown that he's been willing to hand over the keys to the Dallas Cowboys vehicle to his son, Stephen Jones. And his son, Stephen Jones, has a very good record thus far, especially in regards to the draft. They've done a phenomenal job in their draft, the Dallas Cowboys have, especially on defense.
Dallas Cowboys, their offensive line is still solid, not what it once was, but still solid. They have a great running back.
Cowboys need better guard play.
They have a good quarterback. They have some okay receivers, but they just don't have a number one.
They don't have okay receivers. Their receiver core is subpar. I'm going to say it again. Their receiver core is subpar. Now that they have Amari Cooper, they need a good tight end. Or Rico Gathers is going to have to really show what he can do. And they would do well if they can get a tall possession receiver that they can count on. Somebody 6'2", 6'3", who can make those over-the-shoulder catches or those sideline catches. That's who they need, especially in the red zone.
Receiver. And their defense is coming along. So they look around and go, this is a high-leverage moment for us. This can be a high-leverage play for us because Amari Cooper is big, strong, fast, runs routes well, can catch the ball. He's the best available lead wideout. He's better than Des Bryant has been for years. Okay. So I get you want to go get this guy, but a first-round pick? Like first, there's an old expression, a fool and his money are soon parting. But in this case, a fool and his first-round pick are soon parting. A first-round pick? What's Patrick Peterson going to go for now? A zero-round pick? Like, what? Is there something above a first-round pick? Patrick Peterson sitting there going, damn, I wanted to get traded. Who's going to afford me now? And you're going to have to...
Well, the Arizona Cardinals had no intention of trading Patrick Peterson, Max Kellerman. Their coach is already on record as stating we're not going to move Patrick Peterson. He's still considered one of the top 20, maybe even one of the top 10 players in the NFL, regardless of position. So the Dallas Cowboys were desperate. They're pretty much set at every other position except for wide receiver for the immediate future. Now, of course, they could improve in other areas, but they desperately needed a real receiver.
Amari Cooper, not only do you trade the first-round pick for him, you're going to have to pay him. He's coming up to get paid. So I understand the logic in it, but the Dallas Cowboys clearly overpaid here.
Well, so the Dallas Cowboys have done this before with Joey Galloway and with Roy Williams. And I think it was the smart thing, and I don't mind the first-round compensation because you're talking about a guy who's 24 years old. It's not like he's up in age. He's going to make...
Absolutely. Great point.
He's going to make $411,000 this year. But this is a decision that tells about how much money can we waste in the future. Because you're talking about the pressure on Dak Prescott. It's an evaluation process. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, if I'm the Jones family, I want to see what you can do with a receiver we think is the number one.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And that's really what this is about. Because this is going to determine how much Dak gets paid after his contract is up. Because if he does not perform well for the rest of this season and next season with Amari Cooper, they're probably going to try to make a move to obtain a great quarterback in free agency if possible. Or they may draft one. But you have to look at their team. By the time next season is over, Ezekiel Elliott's going to be 24, 25 years old. He's going to be in his prime as a running back. They're not going to be able to draft another quarterback and wait and hope that he's going to be, that he's going to mature within 2 or 3 seasons. Quarterbacks like Pat Mahomes come along once a generation. So really right now they're hoping that Amari Cooper is going to bring out the best in Dak Prescott. That's what they're hoping for. Because if it doesn't, they pretty much have to start from square one. And then you're going to have to spend 3 more years after next year running Ezekiel Elliott into the ground.
With the receiver who won the Biletnikoff with over 17,000 yards coming out of college, he's had a 1,500-yard NFL season. This is a guy we know has all the tools to be an elite number 1. You can't evaluate Dak Prescott with Cole Beasley being the number 1. With Michael Gallup, a guy you're waiting to come along as a 3rd-round pick. And on the other end of that, you're still in a position in the NFC East where you have a chance to win it for all the reasons you said, Max.
Absolutely. As poorly as they've played, as many games as they've given away, they're second in the NFC East. I mean, they're right there. So they still have the opportunity. If you had to ask me if I think that the Dallas Cowboys were going to win the NFC East, I would say no. Because I think that the Washington Redskins, they have a far more seamless offense in regards to their quarterback. Their quarterback did not turn the ball over. Adrian Peterson has provided stability in their running game. Their defense is playing very well, especially Mr. DJ Swearinger. So right now, the Washington Redskins are playing the best of any team in the NFC East. But I still believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to heat up. We'll see. Right now, the NFC East is up for grabs.
So if you can go out and make a trade, or if you can go out and acquire a person in a position of need that actually has the talent to help, you have to do it, because you also don't want to waste money on Dak.
Well, let's be very, very clear. You brought up the $411,000. Whatever you have to pay Amari Cooper, it ain't going to be that damn much. Not with the last 2 years being questionable for him. Even if he shows up and produces for the Dallas
$10 million a year?
Well, let me explain. He's going to cost them probably about $13 million. But possibly that's what he.
That's right. That was reported 13.
That's what he counted. It was reported 13. But what I'm saying to you is that if they decide to re-up him, take care of him, what have you, he doesn't have the strongest degree of leverage because of the baggage he came from Oakland to Dallas.
There's also going to be a 5th-year option on it.
A 5th-year option, number 2. And number 3, you're the Dallas Cowboys. It's not just about Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, who you can start the process of long-term deals with. You got DeMarcus Lawrence that you got to take care of. You're looking to take care of cornerback Byron Jones.
That's really what's going to hurt them, is paying all those guys on defense. They've drafted so well. They're going to have to pay a lot of those guys.
So you got all of that going on right now. All I'm saying to you is the Dallas Cowboys acquiring Amari Cooper, it serves a multitude of purposes that are beneficial to them. And that's what I like.
If the Dallas Cowboys were knocking on the Super Bowl door right now, I'd say, okay, even a first-round pick, you got to push your chips into the middle of the table. Mm-hmm. This is not that situation.
Right, but Max Kellerman, in the NFL, how far away are they from knocking on the Super Bowl door? They have a quarterback in Dak Prescott who's, 25 years old. Ezekiel Elliott is heading into his prime years as a running back, and he has a collision-oriented style. You cannot wait forever. This is why they made this move. You just can't waste a season. You have to try to maximize what you have right now.
They could win the NFC East. They ain't winning no Super Bowl this year.
The other part
They
of it
picked up an
is,
expensive receiver.
it's not to say that you can get this level of talent, a guy who's proven he can do it in the NFL with that first-round pick as well.
Absolutely. Look at the guy out there in Chicago. He finally made a catch. What's the dude's name? Kevin White. He almost caught the Hail Mary against New England. This guy was one of the highest first-round draft picks at wide receiver. He's barely played. So you never know what you're going to get in the draft. Everybody makes a big deal like you traded away a first-round draft pick. If Amari Cooper was coming out of Alabama this year and the Dallas Cowboys drafted him with that same pick, nobody would have said anything because he would have been the top prospect at wide receiver. So they traded for him. Big deal.
Now I feel like I know what John Gruden's doing, and that's just worrying about the future.
Because, by the way,
it's just
because he got 10 years.
Stephen is right. They've evaluated Derek Carr using Amari Cooper. He's been evaluated.
No question. We stay in the division, guys.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. We'll see how things turn out for the Cowboys. Peace.